It's time. I think we're live. We're live and we got audio going. So,
All right, good
hi.
evening. Oh, it's so good to be here.
It's been a crazy few weeks
Well, for
since
everybody.
for everybody.
Everybody. Oh my
Actually,
gosh.
probably less so for us than a lot of people, and it's been pretty freaking crazy. So, hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Cheryl. We're Tech Nomadia. And we are coming up on our 14-year Nomadiversary next week.
Oh my God, yeah, April 1st is my nomadiversary, so I'm gonna figure out how to celebrate this year because it's gonna be a
I don't
weird one.
I don't think a April 1st joke is really gonna
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can think of something that would be workable.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, we are in Sanford, Florida, which is the location that we wintered last year and fell in love with. And oh gosh, if you've been following our videos this last month, we ended our RVing season. We got back to the boat in Savannah. It wasn't quite ready at the boatyard, and thankfully the boatyard worked extra hard to get us back to launchable so we could launch the boat and have our home back for this impending COVID thing so that we'd have a place to shelter in place in.
Because sheltering in place in the van was going to be tight. We just put out a produced video, kind of like telling that story and our kind of cruise up here. But now we figured we'd hang out live with whoever wants to hang out live, because apparently people can't go hang out in outside places at the moment.
It's been really fun because we've been doing these live chats. Oh gosh, for 10 years now, we've been doing these live broadcasts. Can you believe it? 10 years we've been doing live broadcasts.
That's right. Yeah, we had God, yeah, back when live was a completely different thing in YouTube land.
But yeah, we have been hosting these things for 10 years now. We do them fairly regularly. It's been really fun to see so many other channels and people now doing them too as a way to engage with everybody who is now homestruck, so it's really interesting to see how the industry has changed. All these things that we just do all the time anyway, or it's like, if we've been training for this, we're so set for
it. So yeah, anyway, I guess that's
so we ended up
nutshell.
We originally thought that we were going to leave Savannah, kind of putz our way down to Florida and just anchor out for a couple of months and wait this stuff out. But as Marina started to close, as travel or stay in place orders for travelers we started hearing about them on the islands.
Like last week, we started to think, what if they were to start making moves to close the Florida-Georgia border and we got trapped on the wrong side? And hey, now they are actually making moves to close the border for
not really
cars.
Close it, but
they're making moves towards it. So we had this urgency of get up the river. Let's get to Sanford. We knew this was a safe port. We knew they would hold a spot for us. It was this would be a place we wouldn't mind being stuck for an extended period if it all came to that. And so we hightailed it up the river, and you saw in that little intro video clip some of the footage we took on the way. But that was just a 2-day cruise up the entire river.
Yes. So yeah, we did 386 miles over 4 long cruising days, our longest cruising days to date. It's good to know we can do it. It's very relaxing, much more relaxing than driving an RV for 4 days straight.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that would have been a 1 afternoon RV trip, that same amount of miles. So you got to factor that in.
Yes, but we also, we did the drive from Arizona to Florida in 2 weeks, and that felt grueling too. So we're not fans of doing long driving or cruising days. We like to do 2 or 3 hours and then stay put for a while and enjoy a place. But you can't always do that.
So, well, anyway, cheers. We're drinking our deep reserves of stashed wine. Hopefully we get a delivery this week. And,
so we're doing boxed wine. This is a Costco boxed Cabernet. We're getting into the dredges. We have either really good wine on board that we don't want to just waste.
Peter that out slowly.
Or we have the really cheap stuff. So Costco wine's pretty good. I actually have an order up on Total Wine right now that we're going to restock the cabinet now that we are somewhere where we can actually get packages. So that's really cool. And delivery, that's one reason we came to Sanford, is it's just going to make life a lot easier.
So I see a ton of stuff flying by in the chat room. We're going to kind of go back and try and take some questions. But I see Linda's here. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom. And our crazy Krauts are here.
Yes.
Joe's here. Hey, Joe.
The computer guy.
And I saw, Ask Captain Chris is here. Chris and Elise, next Saturday evening, April 4th. Did you know it is Hug Your Anchor Day?
It is actually a real official major holiday to hug your anchor.
And so Ask Captain Chris was one of our training captains when we were gearing up to boat 3 years ago. And we are going to be teaming up with them next Saturday to celebrate Hug and Anchor Day and be talking about anchoring out on your boat and them sharing some tips from a training captain.
Right, so that'll be our first attempt at using a Skype interview, like, split screen, let's all talk via this eCam software we're using. So we're going to have some fun doing a trial run with that, make sure we got all the tech issues worked out. And speaking of tech issues, I just noticed our video dropped for a second, but I think that's just here to here because eCam...
Tech is going weird too.
I think seriously that COVID might be infecting tech, because we've got 3 laptops on board. One, the keyboard has stopped working. One, the screen has stopped working. And one is our emergency reserve spare, what we're using right now. And it is going wonky in various other ways. And I've just been trying to set it up from scratch in time for this. So yeah, tech is weird. I think this virus might be crossing from humans to
I think it's
silicon.
made the jump, huh?
I don't know.
Jump from bats to pangolins to humans
to Max at least. So this is getting scary. What next?
Yes, but we hope that if you're a fellow nomad, that hopefully you found your stay in place spot. Traveling right now, as much as I feel as full-timers are well equipped to self-isolate and still be mobile, it is not a time to be traveling. It's not a time to more and more cities are just not welcoming of travelers as much.
Yeah, they're not welcoming of people who are they'll take care of people who are like, I'm hunkering down here. It seems like we're hearing a lot of reports of communities taking care of the travelers who have decided to hunker down. But if you walk in and say, hey, I'm here to play tourist, well, you're going to rub people the wrong way.
And as full-timers aren't really here to play tourist. So yeah, we feel good in Sanford. We are Florida residents. That's where our domicile is. Our physical domicile address is just a few miles up the river from here. Our primary care physician is actually here in Sanford. We established here last year. So, if there's a place we can call home, it's here. We're like an hour drive from my mom, about a 2-hour drive to your parents where they are staying at. So, so we feel good. We feel good being here. We got good amenities here. Most of the restaurants downtown are doing takeout, so we're going to support them as long as we can. We can get grocery delivery. We've got power because it's already summer here, apparently.
Oh yeah. Speaking of summer, it has been record hot. It was in the mid-90s today. What is this for March? Oh my goodness. I hope this. I hate to think what July might be like here.
So anyway, we really don't have much to present on. We did a produced video, if you haven't seen it already, recounting the trip to Sanford and the decision, if you want to do that. But we're just here to hang out, drink a little wine. If you've got any questions for us about nomadic life, boating, RVing, cats, whatever.
We'll pop up some questions. We might not be able to go all the way back in the scroll here, but I'll bring up people and we can answer your questions here live. And let's go back. Let's just start at the top and go quickly down and see what we've got here.
A lot of intros.
There's people. Ask Captain Chris is saying hi from Vero Beach.
And Bert and Ditto send snuggles. That's their adorable golden doodles. So we are so looking forward to doing this live cast with them on Saturday, and talking about anchoring on a boat.
We got watchers in Sook, so Sookie, British Columbia. It's Haley there, nice. And
Cheryl Charming.
So Cheryl, Miss Charming here. She is a bartender in New Orleans, and not just a bartender. The bartender wrote the book on bartending, and she just sent us a link. We talked about her in a video a couple ago.
Yeah, we stopped and met her when we were in New Orleans in the beginning of February.
And she just sent me a link. The band that we saw play at her bar, Marty, Peter, and the Party Meters, who are an incredible jazz band, apparently have a new album out on Bandcamp. So I got the link she sent. So Cheryl, I got that link. We'll definitely check it out. And anybody else who's looking for some incredible jazz, check out Marty, Peter, and the Party Meters. And I don't know, I imagine your bars had to shut down right now in New Orleans, but when this is all over, you get to New Orleans, go to the Bourbon O Bar. It is amazing and incredible cocktails. We wish we had you on board and not the Costco box wine right now. And let's see, lots of people ahoy from the Oregon coast. We just answered what we're drinking, the cheap Costco stuff.
Yeah, I think that our box of wine was $12
yes.
when we picked it up. When we went down and visited family in Florida before we came up to Savannah to the boat. Stopped in Sanford, actually talked to the Marina here about possibilities for the summer. Anyway, and we stopped at a Costco in Jacksonville on the way back to Savannah, hoping that our freezer would work because we knew we were getting the boat out of storage. We needed to provision it in general, even we were considering going to the Bahamas or whatever. So we knew we needed to do a general stock up. So we did a Costco stock up there. And this was kind of supposed to be the deep reserve wine. And we just did not have a chance to restock the wine cabinet before we left Savannah. So.
Yes. And so we had from Val in Vegas saying, good to see us. We hear Vegas is kind of a strange place right now because all the casinos have had to shut down. And I heard that there's starving pigs now outside of Vegas that were used to survive by all the leftover buffet food went to feed pigs at pig farms. And now the pigs are running out of food. So strange side effects of all these COVID shutdowns. What else we got here? Lots of people. I'm just skimming through. Out by Boise is definitely a good place to be isolated. And
so Dave Rowe is here.
This is
Stink Pot. They are loopers who are returning to their home base in Maine. And we got to wave to them from a dock in Jacksonville.
Yes, we have not had a chance to meet in person. We've been online friends for a while.
Apparently they are on America's Funniest Home Videos this evening.
Tonight. Which is, people are confused. They think that they're on it right now. But
no, they're sitting at home watching us.
Yes, because they filmed it a couple months ago. And I guess there's some really hilarious video clip that features him doing something funny and hopefully not too painful. So hopefully we'll manage to see that clip at some point. And but yeah, they're on the big network right now. We're just on a little piddly YouTube. And but they also hosted a live concert from their boat. Just Dave is quite an incredible musician. He's written some amazing songs, and they did a Zoom concert for their fans.
Yes, apparently Elton John just did a.
Yeah, but nobody's heard of Elton John. They've all heard of Stink Pot. So
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody here canoes the Canal de Midi in the south of France, which I'd love to do that someday. So this Elton John guy, I think you could check his stream out. Probably might be interesting. Wow, lots of people here. Do we ever come through Chattanooga?
We've been through Chattanooga several times, and mostly in our bus. I believe that when we finally get around that far on the Great Loop, which at this rate will be like a decade from now, we definitely are going to do the side trip over to Chattanooga. I love Chattanooga.
Yeah, and just the river going up there. We've done it on the shore on our bus, and just it's such a beautiful route. And doing it by water with the canyons there, I think it's actually supposed to be some of the most dramatic physical terrain that you can go through on one of the Great Loop side trips. So we are very much looking forward to the Chattanooga side trip.
Some other folks just came from the RV Geeks video cast. That's why we scheduled this for 7:30 because we wanted to be in on that, so we were watching them as well.
Yeah, the RV Geeks and the Mortons on the Move were out in New Zealand and are been kind of trapped there now with the travel restrictions and everything, so they haven't been able to get back. So if you follow their channels,
the Windsors trapped in Fiji, and the Malimish folks were trapped in Morocco, and apparently they just got on a ferry to France.
Yes, France sent an evacuation ferry for a lot of European nationals who were stuck, basically living almost like refugees on the border in Morocco. So they're being rescued to get back to Europe so they can get back to their second home base of Croatia. Right. If you haven't followed Malimish, they're a really cool family.
And our friends Sean and Louise cruised over to the Bahamas, and they now have stay-in-place orders. They can either stay anchored where they are, or they have to head back to the U.S. So I think they're deciding to stay anchored where they are for now.
Yeah, particularly because a lot of the most convenient places they can come back to the U.S. are not welcoming cruisers to dock particularly much anymore.
Especially coming from foreign countries. So it's a really precarious situation, especially for those that were traveling internationally right now.
Yes. And yeah, we're very happy to be back in Sanford, Richard. It is one of our places that's won our heart, and they have really great takeout that are still open too. So we've been patronizing the local businesses.
Yes, even Willow Tree is doing takeout, make your own cocktails. So we got their gummy teeny kit the other night. 2 bottles of booze and gummy bears to make your own gummy bear martinis.
And sour mix, and they give you the recipe, and it's like, here, go home and have your cocktails as if you were here with us. And it's like 2 full bottles, so you're getting a whole lot of servings. we still have plenty left. A lot of nomadic YouTubers are scrambling. Hopefully, a lot were able to get ahead of this. I mean, this was a tidal wave that it's been on the horizon since
January. We've been tracking it.
Yeah, and certainly by the time we were at the Our Village rally, we were thinking this is something we need to be ready to hunker down for. So that was Valentine's Day is when we realized.
We pretty much considered Our Village rally our last big social event. We kind of went into social distancing at that point, minimal social anyway at that point. Hey, Jennifer Neely here. Hey, Jen and Dee.
Another cool person.
Yes, Jen.
Neely's on Wheels.
Neely's on Wheels. They just bought a Travato before all this went down. We never got a chance to go van camping with them.
Yes, we were supposed to rendezvous, have our vans side by side, and instead they're basically their first camping trip in their Travato has been their driveway. Well, yeah, they did a shakedown, and then they've been camping in their driveway just to enjoy their Travato.
Yes, but we will camp again. Speaking of van, we had stored our van with our friends Ann and Elliot just south of Savannah, and today they delivered it to us by airplane. Well, not the van, but so Elliot is a private pilot, and when we messaged him yesterday, say, hey, let's start thinking about how to get the van back to us. He says, how about Ann drive it down and I pick her up by airplane? I'm like,
you sure?
I was going to borrow a car from our friends here in Sanford and drive up and meet it.
He was itching for an excuse to fly his plane, and he did have an interesting run-in though, because he was flying down to Sanford, which is in the Orlando airspace, and the Orlando tower would not respond to him because we just heard that 70% of control tower staff, federal control tower staff, have basically been furloughed and laid off. So they weren't having anything to do with a private pilot flight.
No, so he ended up having to land in DeLand, which is not too far from us here in Sanford at all. But he was a little frustrated with that because he circled for a long time.
Circled for 20 minutes waiting for somebody to answer the radio and give him clearance to enter the airspace, and they just would not. So definitely not a good time to be flying into a private pilot in congested airspace or controlled airspace.
Yes. A question from Susan is, how do you guys deal with being counted in the U.S. Census? So I think
there's a website, right?
Yeah, you can now do it online. And since the rule is you're supposed to be counted where you are on, I believe, April 1st. So we will be in Sanford, so we'll report ourselves in Sanford.
Yes. And do the census. Be counted. It is very important for a lot of things. And it should be a simple process. And 10 years ago, we were in a campground in Texas, right?
For the 2010.
They actually had somebody walking around, double checking.
Yeah, so they actually will send the census takers to marinas and campgrounds and count people that way who are transients. And there actually is a markation for being a transient. But now we have a long-term lease here in Sanford, so we are considering ourselves pretty much resident. We're going to be here for the foreseeable future. Riz and Maya are here.
Yes,
great.
hey,
You guys got some time on your sailboat before all this came down.
Mm-hmm. Where are they hunkered down at? Are they in Texas?
Probably in Texas.
Yeah, so this is some other sailing cool people we met in Fort Pierce last, right? Mm-hmm. And there's Mel here. Mel, Linda, and Dexter.
They had just hit the road before all this went down. After years and years of planning. I feel so sorry for our friends that have been working their way towards hitting the road. And I promise it's better days ahead. Than a full-time RVing right now is got some challenges. Full-time lifestyle in general does with this COVID stuff and the hunkering down and all the travel restrictions in place and things like that. You can't really go out and explore much either.
Yes. So Dennis is apparently saying we've all been flashing, so I'm assuming that's YouTube glitches. I think there's a lot of people doing extra loads on YouTube.
Yes. I think before we live, I saw there were like at least 3 other big RVing YouTubers that are doing live casts this evening too.
Yes.
So
and apparently this Elton John guy, I don't know who he is, but he might be sucking up some bandwidth. We're doing this. We've got our speeds here are fabulous. At night we've been getting over 100 megabits per second, and on right now I was getting 20 up and 20 down. So our cellular here is really solid, but the overall internet is kind of straining under the load of all the people being home and working in different patterns. As Joe points out, YouTube might be having some issues.
And Joe's been on a lot of YouTube. I saw he was on the RV Geeks one earlier today as well.
Yeah, and they were coming from New Zealand and were having all sorts of glitches happening.
Okay, scroll down.
Oh my God! Yeah, this is.
You're going too slow.
Okay, I'm skipping by. There's probably interesting questions I'm totally skimming past.
Oh, where's Kiki? I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
You really want me to wake Kiki up from her nap, Sabina?
How is Kiki doing? And Sabina, this is, yes. Kiki loves her Sabina. There she is.
There's the Keekster. She's fresh from a nap. She's been napping a lot lately. She had some baby duckies swim by today, and there's an alligator swimming by our boat too.
Yeah,
Little baby one.
Yeah, a baby alligator. There's a bigger alligator over there, and we were telling the alligators don't eat the duckies because there's 5 little adorable ducklings, and we got some pictures and video. We didn't put them in the loop. We should have, but oh my god, they're adorable, and they come when you call. So I went out on the back porch and I quacked, and suddenly from all the way across the marina, the 5 ducklings and their mom and dad just came right over to the boat to say hi.
You saying you're quacking up?
I'm quacking up here in isolation, I guess. I'm talking to ducks. Yeah. Ronald wants to know if his cabin is ready.
Your cabin is ready, but you have to have a 14-day quarantine before you enter my boat.
Yes.
Ken over on Sea Dock says hi.
Ken, oh yeah, hey, yeah. Don is asking what our upgrades for the boat in 2020 are.
Well, we
antiviral spray down.
Yeah, pretty much. Virus bubble. So in Savannah, we had a lot of maintenance taken care of on the boat. So it was due for the after coolers being serviced. So we had those serviced and a general engine maintenance. We had the doors all rebuilt because they were sticking a lot. Mm-hmm. We had a water leak in the
freshwater tank that turned into a
big repair project, but it is repaired. We can hold water again. We had all the port lights, so the little port windows were leaking and crusty, so we had those all taken out and rebedded. So nothing really like livability upgrades, so just a lot of maintenance that is typical for a 20-year-old boat. And one of these days, now that we're still, I'm going to go through a lot of our maintenance receipts for the last 3 years of the boat, now that we've owned it, as well as like the last 3 years of maintenance on the bus, because we have a lot of people who want to know what is the difference in cost in an RV versus a bus. So hopefully that'll be something we can cover during this downtime.
So we got a request from Riz for more cooking videos, and actually we were just talking about that yesterday. That could be a fun future live thing to do. So
yeah, except for I'm not known for cooking.
I think it'd be more like hanging out, drinking, and talking while food is being sizzled.
Yeah. I heat up food. I don't call it really cooking.
Yeah, maybe we'll do I'll make a chili on video or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Roller Angel said, if you had to consider a cargo trailer conversion, would you do it? And I haven't had to consider a cargo trailer conversion. Never has really been something.
Yeah, no. But our friend Michael AFE Technologies, he did a really amazing cargo trailer conversion. If you look for RV Crypt or APE, wait, no, AFE, yeah, awesomest fort ever. Because he built this cargo trailer conversion with a crazy amount of solar, and then the bedroom, there's no bedroom, it's just a crypt hidden underneath, and it's really fun. He's got a video tour of it on YouTube, so look for that. It's, crypt RV trailer cargo something.
Jonathan wants to know if we're gonna have a Sanford meetup. Those are kind of banned right now. No meetups. We're gonna be doing a lot of virtual.
We're having the Sanford fan meetup. Thank you for coming. Hardest thing to deal with on the boat, or the biggest pain? I don't. I mean, big things happen on a boat, and repairs and projects can be expensive, and but so far most things have been more relatively, at least educational and fun in some fashion. Sometimes docking can be challenging.
Yeah, it can be a little challenging, and finding reputable boat yards, because if you are, there's not as many RV repair shops, but if something happens to your boat, you've got to find one that can work you into their schedule, and you're living on the hard, and where a lot of your systems of the boat
only work in the water.
Right, like air conditioning on our boat, we would have to get a different air conditioning system if we were trying to live on the hard, and some places just don't let you live on the hard while work is being done. So that can be a challenge.
So Lindy wants to know, how much of the waterways have we done? We haven't done any international waterways yet. We started
so the international waterway. So the international waterway would be like the ocean. So
we've done, talking about the intercoastal waterway.
The intracoastal waterway, which is the kind of the river that goes up the coast and is
rivers and canals, and
we have basically gone from Key West, which is the ending point, up to Charleston is as far north as we have gone. And then we backtracked to Savannah for hurricane season last summer.
And we did
then
part of the Gulf Intercoastal Waterway from Punta Gorda down into the Keys. So we've done our loop. We've started in Punta Gorda and made it as far as Charleston. It's about 1/6 of the loop.
The Atlantic Intracoastal Waterway officially ends. Mile 0 is Norfolk, Virginia, which is where I was born. I'm sure that's why they made it the starting point, because all good things start in Norfolk.
So where somebody's wondering whether the marina here, we have to move the boat to pump out, or do they have something portable that comes to us? And they actually have a pump out boat, and we're signed up to have them once a week pull their pump out boat over by us, and they're
tending to keep that going. We talked with the marina here,
because there's a lot of liveaboards here.
Right.
So.
And they do have a fuel dock. On the fuel dock, they have a pump out station. So if for some reason they are unable to move the boat to us, we can move the boat to the dock and pump out on our own there as well. It's one reason we picked this marina, because there's 2 options for pump outs here.
So Sabina wants to know why we're not having the gumatinis right now. And
2 nights in a row, I needed a break.
Hello. I'll switch to this camera. That one, I think we're having Wi-Fi interference. That one's on Wi-Fi. So not as good of picture quality here, but...
It's okay. YouTube is...
Yes, there we go. There we go. Maybe I'll switch to the other one if it comes back, but there we go. Let's see.
We just want to be interns on your boat. We're so jealous and have a lot to learn, but we're definitely going to be nomads one day.
Awesome. Definitely keep it up. It's a great, I don't know, it's a great lifestyle. We love it. Curtis is here from our village, and he's always gives up good band names, and his one for tonight is the Cheap Costco Stuff. And yeah, I might go see that band in concert, Curtis. What is the key to a mattress from Michelle? We've actually have a video on when we got the mattress.
Right. So look, about 2.5 years back in our videos, we did a live cast about RV mattresses.
And boat mattresses.
And boat mattresses and the options for that. And there's actually a blog post on the blog on technomadia.com. If you just type in mattress in the search bar,
yes.
We went over a lot of the options, from custom made to modifying your own foam mattress.
And in the end, we've been so incredibly happy with basically a cheap Zeopedic mattress, the house brand from Big Lots of all places. We tried several high-end mattresses, and we've been so impressed by the Zeopedic.
Yeah, we're way behind because Cheryl.
Oh my gosh! Okay, we got to go catch up here. Okay.
So we've already talked about Copernicus.
Jonathan's on the hunt for a Bayliner 4788. It is a great boat. We still do not regret it in any fashion. Okay, we're probably skipping over all sorts of interesting things here. So, yeah, Nell was looking forward to trying out the Mikasa restaurant in Benson, but avoiding restaurants.
Are restaurants even open there? Are they
doing takeout?
Here in Sanford, anyway, some restaurants are open, but it's takeout only. So we are going. we just did takeout from El Zocala, I think is how you pronounce it. They have online ordering, online payment, and we just went and picked it right up. It was super easy.
So yeah, apparently this Elton John guy is doing a concert in his living room, so that's why YouTube is all backed up.
Okay, so what did we do separately for entertainment? Separately, what's that concept? Separately,
have we ever been separate in 14 years? It's
short bits.
Well, actually, no. So what we do is Cheryl will watch the beginning of a TV show, and then I'll watch the end of it, and then the next day we'll watch the same thing over and over again as she tries to slowly catch up.
Because I fall asleep to stuff when I watch it.
So right now we're watching The Expanse, and just started Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet on Apple TV. We're seeing if that's any good. The Expanse has been awesome.
Yeah, but the boat is, we got lots of living spaces, and Chris has actually set up a
standing desk up
in the pilot house, and then my desk is in here in the salon. So we're actually getting some separation of space during the day, which is.
And I can't even hear her over the air conditioners that we've had to run. So it's like we're in two different worlds sometimes. Okay, let's see. Okay. How large is our cruiser? So our boat is a Bayliner 4788, so its registered length is 47 feet long, 15 feet wide.
But the actual length over air is 52 feet once you factor in the swim platform and the bow pulpit. And this marina ironically, because we always tell our dock masters, we give them both measurements and let them choose which one to charge us from. This marina, she officially says, we only charge by your documented length. So we're only being charged 47 feet here, which is amazing.
Yes. It's like, yeah, and this is one of the most affordable marinas we've stayed at and one of the nicest. So if you make it your way all the way up the St. Johns River, there's a reward. There's a pot of gold up here at the end of the river. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of reports of people stranded in various places. Riz wants to know if we could film our visits to the local business so we can see what takeout drinks look like. And I actually did get a little bit of footage. It might make it into when we got the takeout cocktails, but they basically just have tables set out, and you can order online or just order there and then wait, and they put bags of liquor in a bag.
It doesn't look much different than going to a liquor store and walking out.
Well, but it's outside on the sidewalk.
Yeah. There's just, they have a table set up, and you placed your order. We placed the order online, paid for it online, and just went over and picked it up. And
okay. Oh, goodness. A lot of questions. A lot of chat tonight.
Pick something.
Okay, here's Joe. Joe is working his way back down to Florida. He's heading home on Tuesday, so hopefully that's still passable by then. From Alabama to
one reason we decided
Florida.
to get Cooper back now, just in case they get stricter.
They got a hassle on the state lines. Love your dress, Cherie. It is indeed adorable.
Yes, this dress, the first day we arrived to Sanford, the first time back in 2018.
This is that dress? Oh
my
gosh,
This is the dress. Yeah, we went to the Family Dollar store right across the street. I got it for $8. It is held up so wonderfully, and I love it. It's
I know.
So comfy.
We were just like in there looking for super glue, I think, and you're like, oh, that's a cute dress. Just like Family Dollar. Who gets dresses there?
Okay. Ed would like to know, would we ever consider a sailboat like the Wind? So we actually, when we first started dating back in 2006, we talked about doing a sailboat. And in 2010, incidentally, before the Wind started shopping for their first RV, we started shopping for a sailboat.
Yeah, we went to the Miami Boat Show. There's actually some old videos and blog posts and stuff from our sailboat shopping down at the Miami Boat Show. We actually had our heart set on a Gemini, 36-foot small catamaran. We were actually looking for a sailboat that had a mast low enough to do the Great Loop, and that was lowerable because the Great Loop was already on our agenda back then, but we were thinking sailboat at the time, and have evolved to think that most sailboaters doing coastal cruising spend more time being motorboaters.
Right. We quickly learned that the style of cruising we wanted to do, a motor vessel was better for us. I love sailing. My dad and I used to sail when I was growing up. But, we can always rent a sailboat wherever we are and get some pleasure sailing in. As far as live aboard, though, we love the living space of this motor vessel. So,
yeah. And yes, this is such a nice condo on the water.
We figured out we have no desire to go across oceans like the Winds do. We might go to the Bahamas one day in this. But when we're RVing, we love to have a water view, and when we're boating, we love to have a land view. There's just something for us about the intersection of land and water. And
and we like being that close to all the interesting things. We're more called to funky little river towns than we are remote desert islands. That's more our personal what calls us as far as exploring. And not that desert islands aren't fun and awesome, and maybe we were good. We were imagining we might be in the Bahamas this season, and that's definitely not happening now. So we will get there someday. And Richard is asking, how about the Mississippi? That's
once we do once we get around to the loop, we'll have to do a portion of it. It's considered some of the most difficult part of the loop.
Yeah, and the loop. The lower Mississippi, you've got kind of this detour option. You can either do the lower Mississippi, which hardly any loopers do, the part from the Ohio River down to New Orleans, or what most pleasure boats do is they go up the Ohio River a little way and take the 10-tom waterway, which is much better suited to small boats, and there's no big currents and giant barges. There are some, but there's not the kind of commercial traffic like the lower Mississippi. But if you're interested in the lower Mississippi, our friends Sean and Louise of our Odyssey have blogged their voyage there. They've done it and have shared all the details.
Yes. Got a question about mobile internet.
We
Any
were
question about
skipping
this?
mobile internet questions.
That is our work
Yep,
life, but we
okay.
do have the Mobile Internet Resource Center channel, which is a separate channel where we do post a lot of videos about it. And go over to mobileinternetinfo.com, which is our work life, our office.
Yes, this is our living room. So
this is our playtime. This is our after hours time.
And yeah, we've been doing a lot of internet coverage stuff.
Yes.
So lots going on. Jackie says, "What are our thoughts on the Greenline Yachts? They're kind of solar powered, hybrid electric boats, and there are some very cool ones. They're very pricey and new. Yeah, if I had, they wanted to give us one, it'd be tempting, but there's none quite as nice of an interior space as
Right,
this.
yeah, the interior space for what we looked at was compromised for long-term living.
And about 5 times the cost of what we paid for this, or 7 times the cost. So,
but really cool technology.
Yeah,
it's great to see that technology coming out.
And there's Silent Yachts too, which is doing catamarans that are really sweet as well, with solar and hybrid drives. And yeah, so we are doing the Great Loop over Neil's asking, I thought you said you were going to go through the Great Lakes. And indeed, eventually we're going to get up there and down and around. It's just we're on a slow
between
path.
COVID this year and also some of the locks are closed next year for repair. It's not the year to loop, really. Yes. And we're going to do it very slowly. We've been doing it slowly for 3 years. We've now owned our boat 3 years. And we're going to be doing it very slowly because we really like to stay places for a while. After 14 years of full-time travel, we like getting to know a place, getting to know people, and having a slower, more casual pace of life than the constant go.
So Mike is going to start the loop in 2021 and has asked, is there any advice for your first year on the water? I'd say go slow.
Go slow. I mean, if you're doing the traditional loop, your first year in the water is going to be the loop, and it's going to be amazing.
but very fast paced.
Very fast pace. I would suggest, if you've never really had a lot of cruising experience, which was our case, is take it slow. Get used to your vessel.
And enjoy living in it, because it's not a race. Bob asks, are we ever thinking about going all the way around the continent? So the Great Loop is the eastern half of the United States. To go around the continent requires the Panama Canal and the Northern Passage,
which is well beyond the capability. It probably could push our boat to do it. Really planning whether
this boat could not do the Northern Passage.
No, this is not the ideal boat for that. And no, we really don't have big. I really like just the coastal cruising.
There's no cool small towns to visit going through.
Yeah, we really like visiting cool towns, and we like being out on our own.
Icebergs, penguins would be cool. But no, penguins are south, so there'd not even be penguins, polar bears.
Yeah, we like being on our own for bits, but we really like exploring cool little towns. We like being in community. So
Euphoria asks a question that's scaring us: is any plans on handling the bugs this year?
So that is the one downside of coming back to Sanford. If you remember the midges here, so there's been some small, and we are in midge season. Whereas last time we were here, we were not in midge season and had a crazy amount of them. So we did have a couple last night. Not bad yet. It's just that is one of the considerations of being here.
When there's a midge swarm, it is otherworldly and crazy. And hopefully, if there is one, it won't be too many swarms. We went through a period of time where it was just happening every day. And one of the things, we had our doors fixed. Our doors on the boat didn't have whisker seals, so every door had a little gap. So the bugs from the outside would come in, and we'd have to vacuum the ceiling inside.
And then stuff them with towels.
And stuff the doors with towels.
So when we had the doors rebuilt in Savannah, we put the whisker seals back on, so that should help keep a lot of the bugs out. So it shouldn't be as miserable inside.
Miserable.
Yes. Have we ever headed up to Nova Scotia and the Canadian East Coast? And we did do a cruise a few years back with my mom. From Fort Lauderdale to Montreal. We did some cruise stops up there, but that's the only time we've been up in that area.
Yes. Lots more compliments on your dress. And it is indeed. Okay, we're almost caught up here. Hey, do you guys watch the Trying Not to Sink folks? I've heard people reference them, but
we watched a couple of their videos. We honestly don't watch much YouTube video. Between working full time and we just don't watch a lot.
Sometimes we'll get into a mood where we'll just binge a whole bunch, and that's kind of how we do it. Is both for TV series and for catching up on other YouTubers. Is we don't follow regularly, and then we'll just be in the mood to see what they've been up to, and we'll watch like 5 things in a row. Ian is pointing out the electric yacht that the Winds looked at was really nice and $3.3 million. So
yeah, it's a little beyond our budget.
Yeah, so
We just incidentally just paid off our boat, so we're really happy about
yes.
that. We saw that the economy was going to be going through some tough times, so when it was up in February, we went ahead and took advantage of that, sold some stock, and paid off the boat.
Yeah, we actually timed that well, not intentionally, but it's good now because paying off the boat was a better investment than the stock market has been. Um, there's let's see. Anything else here? Nan says it was nice to say hi at the person at the Our Village rally. And wow, I think we're actually caught up on questions.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
You came across country? I hope you had a great time at our Village Rally. And Curtis is in the room here. Curtis, our Village Rally was amazeballs this year.
Yes,
it really was. It was a
job.
magical event for us. So well. Your team just did an incredible job with it.
Yes.
So we really enjoyed it. I'm glad that was kind of our last.
That was our last big event. Social event, and yes, and God, hopefully this is by next year. These rallies will start happening again, and all this will start coming together. I guess I can answer a little geek question of what streaming gear are we using to make this right now. This is Ecamm software, which does a really nice job. We're using just a little fine microphone here, the USB microphone. It's a bit better than the built-in ones. An iPhone is the camera up here, and then also the laptop's camera here. So I think the iPhone camera is having issues talking over USB, and so actually it looks like it just crashed too. So yeah, so the camera is having some issues. We're using Epoch Cam HD software to turn the iPhone into a webcam for Ecamm, and it's gotten a lot buggier, or there's some issue that I need to solve with this new computer. Corona infected the tech. But you see how much better the iPhone camera was than the built-in webcam here. So, anything else?
So yeah, we got into Sanford on Wednesday and basically we've been in motion to get to wherever it's going to be our stay in place thing for like a month. So the last few days have just been good to be still, to get caught up. We definitely have not had a chance to get bored yet. And in some ways, shelter in place. We're just in social distancing measures here in Sanford right now, but shelter in place will be coming, I am sure. Shelter in place really is kind of our normal anyway. We're homebodies. We go out a little bit. We enjoy the things around us. We'll meet up with people, meet up with fans, meet up with friends. So those things we won't be doing. But I'm looking forward to, we're launching a new video course for the Mobile Internet Resource Center. So we've been working on that and getting everything tied together for that to launch here this month. We're constantly got work to do. It's we've got a lot of content here for Technomatias, fun stuff that we filmed from our RV months. We'll catch up on the new lithium batteries on the bus and some boondocking footage, and so we got a lot of stuff to catch up on. We just haven't had time for, and we're gonna try to do more of these lives. I think.
Yeah, we'll do some lives. It'll be fun, and we'll find a topic for a future one. This was just let's catch our breath. Let's say hi to everybody. It looks like we had 220 people watching right now. So yeah, that's a lot of people just hanging out on a Sunday, waiting, Elton John, get boring, and come talk to us, I guess.
You watch both at the same time.
You could watch both at the same time. That's the magic of technology.
Yes.
And
have we ever thought about getting Kiki a friend? We did get Kiki a friend. Her name is Sabina.
Yes, Sabina brings Kiki treats whenever she comes over, and Kiki's very happy. Kiki, we've told her if she ever invites another cat on board, she can do that.
We would be open to it, but Kiki's 11 and a half now, and we hope we have, she has a very healthy remainder of her life with us. But in the future, it would be nice to not have pets and be able to explore other forms of travel, should travel ever be allowed again. So we love Kiki to death, and we fully intend to give her an amazing life for as long as she's with us, and we have planned all of our travels around her being comfortable and being able to have sustainable travel that is comfortable for her. That has always been a priority for us. But there will be a post-Kiki day, unfortunately.
That's when we've got wishes to travel in Europe, and taking Kiki to Europe would be too stressful for her. So yes, someday we'll go to Europe. And
any lessons from having Why Not in storage and winterized. We didn't actually do a good winterization.
Yeah, because there was really no chance of any significant freezing in Savannah.
Was
but
there really nothing that we left fuel in the dinghy's
yeah,
engine, which we should not have done.
yeah, we should have done a proper, because we just thought we were hauling out for the hurricane, not for then leaving the boat and going away. So we did have to have the dinghy's carburetor rebuilt because the fuel sat and gelled up in it. So that was a couple $100 of, we won't make that mistake again. If we store the dinghy for a long time, we will do the proper storage process.
But yeah, we did, because we got the boat ready for hurricane, because there was a hurricane coming in, and we had a couple days to really get things settled and everything put away. So we did a really good job cleaning out the fridges and everything else. Really wasn't. I mean, Hinkley was pretty awesome. I'm glad we left remote cameras on. The boat did get broken into while we were gone. That was
very
that
happy
was
to
scary.
have the cameras. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll probably do things differently a little bit next time, but I haven't even really thought through it. It's just, we're still such novice boaters overall that we're learning every time we do something. We're like, oh yeah, learn that.
But yeah, I mean, overall, besides the boat being just about a week behind schedule from what we would have preferred, and what they had led us to believe, but they got it launched, and we were
and we got out before they shut down. So
yeah, I think they're still operational at this point. But
I thought I saw that posted that they were shut down. So I don't know. There's mixed reports of Thunderbolt having shut down all the marinas.
Thunderbolt has shut down, but Hinkley is officially in Savannah.
No, but Bob posted Hinkley, but Bob posted again with Hinkley being shut down. So I saw a post saying that they were.
Yeah, our biggest concern was we wanted to make sure the boat was launched and autonomous again before workers quit coming to work, because if they had left major projects undone, like the portal windows or things like that, it would have been more difficult to leave and be able to live on the boat again. So, we would have preferred to have had a sea trial after all the engine work, and maybe. Had some more stuff done, but we successfully were able to cruise on nearly 300 miles without that sea trial, and just trusting and everything. And we're here, we're still now, so it was good.
Yep. David is asking, is there an update on the lithium batteries from the bus? And actually, we did film one before we left Benson, so while we're here chilling out at dock, we'll probably get that video produced.
Yeah, the video is filmed. Mostly, I can produce it in really quick, but he's got to write a blog post to go with it, and that could take a while.
Yeah,
his to-do list is extremely long because he's been managing a lot of the boat projects. So,
how long did it take to get your sea legs back? 2 minutes.
It was really easy to get back into boat life. It felt so good. We were so ready to get back on the boat.
Yeah, and actually, I have to say that all the docking we've done since we left Savannah, which is not much. But completely nailed every docking process.
And they've been some of the more challenging docking. Like in Savannah, you've got the currents there, and you're doing a face dock. Here, we had to do parallel parking, and you rocked it. Yeah,
it's like my first time really kind of parallel parking, reversing, and spinning in with the boat. And
no one to catch our lines.
Yeah, with no one to catch our lines.
So we did really well with that.
Oh, Joe is encouraging people to give thumbs up again. Yeah, thumbs up are very much appreciated. That helps YouTube prioritize the videos next time. But
you know what?
Whatever.
We're here just to hang out with you guys. We are not about the numbers. We do this for fun, not monetization, not building a brand or anything like that. We just like to hang out with you guys, and hopefully, once COVID is over, if we're coming through your area, we can get together and have wine in person. That's our goal.
And Taylor is asking if we plan to go back to Arizona in the RV. That was our plan pre-COVID for fall, and we will see what happens.
Yeah. So our long-term plan here is, assuming COVID actually does
burn out
or whatever, that's going to put us, by prediction, in hurricane season here. So we're just going to be on the boat here in Sanford for hurricane season as well. And then if everything is back to some sense of travel is okay, we'll probably take the van back out to Arizona for winter. But Sanford's also a very tempting place to be for winter if it's back in full force. So we'll probably be dealing push and pull with that. So
so we will see. I think just like everyone in the world, the next year is completely up in the air until things work themselves out. There's a lot of craziness. There's a lot of scariness. There's a lot of change happening, and we'll just all have to ride it out and be adaptable.
But we are we're going to be here a while. And yeah, I think nomadic travels are on pause for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Wednesday is the 14-year nomadiversary for us. And it's
mm-hmm.
kind of interesting that we're going to be stationary for it.
Yes. Bill says, any thoughts on the cruising Connecticut River? It's one of the best rivers in America. I don't know a thing about it, but it sounds cool. When we get to Connecticut, we'll check it out.
Definitely want to go to Connecticut. That's where my mom is from. I've got a lot of family up there. So once we get up that way, we do want to spend some time cruising around the Mystic area. So definitely on the to-do list. But I would argue the St. Johns River is one of the best in America too for cruising.
Yeah, but we got to go compare them all.
We must
we gotta
compare
go
them.
out and compare them all. So far, the St. Johns has won us over, but every river's got its own magic to it. Wine in person, yes, that is our goal. So I think we've gone an hour, and
yeah, I think that's enough.
I think we are going to wrap up here. Again, the Bahamas we were just talking about, they are on our radar.
We were actually planning to head there this spring before all this came down. So,
and we someday we'll get to the Bahamas. Someday we'll get away around the Great Loop. The great thing we love about this lifestyle is just how flexible it allows you to be. You don't have to have a plan and stick to it. That's actually, you could have a plan and throw it out the window and adjust. And that's what I love about this nomadic lifestyle is like you could change your mind at any time, or circumstances can change and you could adapt to them. So we are adapting. We are constantly adapting. We'll get to the Bahamas someday. No agenda. We'll get to Baja, Mexico someday. Maybe next winter, maybe not. But
if we decide to invest in live stream stuff, this stuff works fine for us. Why would I want to invest in it? This is all for fun. I'm not investing in anything.
Yeah, no. We've got fancy lights and stuff. They're just more trouble than they're worth to set up. We do them only when we're doing.
Sabina's telling you already due for a haircut. Didn't you just have one?
That was in when was that?
His hair grows too quick, Sabina. Can you give him a hair retardant or something?
Yes. Every time she sees me on video, she's like, "I need to come cut your hair."
She's our local hairstylist too. And I have to say, she has been taking care of my hair. She's the only person who's touched my hair in a year and a half, and it is doing amazing as far as cutting it.
Yes. Curtis wants a haircut too. Now everybody wants a haircut. Well, cool guys. I think we are going to wrap this up, and my glass is empty. I need to go refill the wine. But
yep. If you are coming through Sanford, let us know. We'll wave to you. Unfortunately, we can't really do meetups. If you want to send us real wine, apparently we can get boxes here and wine's deliverable. Just let us know. Email us contact@technomadia.com.
Yes. Hey, you guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. We'll be doing this more regularly. Remember, next Saturday, April 4th, we'll be doing an episode with Ask Captain Chris about, not this Chris, the real Captain Chris, about anchoring.
It'll be two Chris's.
Two Chris's. It'll be fun. At least I will have to keep you guys straight.
Yes. And so we're going to play the outgoing video. So you didn't see the intro video. This has got some of our footage from coming up the St. Johns River, including the best footage of dolphins I've ever captured. So be sure to watch for the next 60 seconds to see the dolphins. Farewell, guys.